Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. I am presenting to you today something a little bit different. Um, we enjoy going on outings, and I've had some really good experiences in the last few months with places that I thought I might share with people. A couple of these are places that I know, for example, Simon in the Hermit's Cave has done vlogs about. One of them was inspired by him, one of them we went to before he put his video up. So it's really cool to share these, to see them. I haven't done video diaries though, and so I wasn't obviously going to post anything, and thought, well, I want to try something a bit different. So what I'm sharing with you today is some photos from some of these outings. I've got a couple of different groups, so I'm going to kind of group them into different videos and try and keep these videos fairly short for you because it's not that exciting, but I thought I'd share it. A lot of these will be videos that focus on sites that are for things like the caves, historic sites, spiritual sites. My new obsession of ancient stone bothering, in other words, looking for things like dolmens, menhirs, stone circles, ancient stones, things like that. So this first one was a trip in June. We were staying in the southern part of Derbyshire near a town called Arbor. And for us, that's about a 2-hour drive from where we are. We're actually on the western side of the UK, and this is kind of more to the east. And we were staying with family. So the main trip was very sort of broad, but we decided to take a walk. And I persuaded them that as Thor's cave was nearby and it provided a nice circular walk for us to do all together, we could go there. So Thor's cave, and then later that day on our way home, we actually came home via Arbor Low Stone Circle, because that was just a sort of could be on our way home if we just went a slightly different route. So as I say, these are photos, and I'm just going to do a little bit of talk about it as we go, and I hope that you'll get something out of it. So for Thor's cave, you do have to walk to access it. There is a path across the field and you can go to the cave and come back, but we incorporated this into a day's walk basically. You can see the cave is actually quite high above the valley, as you can see from the picture on the right. That's the view across the beautiful valley in Derbyshire that we were near. It's a beautiful, beautiful area going into the peaks. The cave itself, as I say, it's quite high up. It has this magnificent entrance. It is a bit of a scramble to get inside the cave, and actually it's quite slippery. The rock is quite slippery. I suspect there's quite a lot of flint and things in there, but we climbed up. It was quite a warm, humid day. It wasn't sunny, it was just really humid. So by the time we got there, we were all rather hot. Some of my family went up above the cave, but we stayed and we went in and had a look. I just have to apologise. These are pictures of random people. I wasn't going to ruin the photos by taking them out, and I could have stood there all day and not got a photo that had nobody in. So I apologise to anyone who happens across this and goes, "That's me, I don't want to be on that photo," because I haven't checked with them. So this is the inside of the cave once you've climbed in, and it really is spectacular. There's 2 or 3 little trunks off. You can see from the people, again, that I don't know, sorry, sat on the rocks, that the scale of the cave in front of you. And the different shapes that have been worn out of the different rock. There is probably some limestone in that area as well. And you can see, looking back, once you're inside the cave, this is the view out of the cave mouth. So it is quite high up, overlooking this region. It's a beautiful cave. What you'll see next is that my daughter, who's unfortunately found herself on the photos, haha, you can see the scale as you go into the cave, and we actually went round some corners and deeper into the cave, and you can see her in the right hand photo just popping out from one of those little corners through quite a narrow gap, but it was quite cool to explore right to the back of the cave. And one of the things we found was some really lovely fossils which show that this was once the seabed. So several of the rocks quite far back in the cave had lots of these fossils embedded in them, and it's really incredible when you think about the fact, and you'll see in a minute, that this cave is now at high above a valley, not in the low depths. And think about how this was once under the sea, and that's what's created this cave. And as you can see, these photos then show that. So you can see that big opening to the cave that I showed you before, and we're now down where the riverbed is. The river was dry. It's obviously quite a small sort of tributary, which was dry, so it's quite rocky. So you can see that on the right hand picture low down, and you can see the mouth of the cave up there. We carried on walking in this area, and we walked up to an area where there used to be a mill. There's still a stream, and there's still water, there's still buildings, there's a cafe, there's an area to sit. And I happened on the map to notice another cave marked just behind, so my husband and I went exploring, and we found the cave just up the hill, but unfortunately so had the local cows, so we couldn't actually go in. You can see them just peeking out of the cave there. I was loath, because some of them are quite young, to go disturbing them, but it was quite cool to find another cave hidden there. And then you can also see a very tame possible blackbird of some form. I think it's just a normal blackbird, but it was quite big, so I wasn't sure if it was more of a crow who came to say hello to myself and my husband. And you can then see this sat above the valley with the stream, and the mill buildings to the left, and a very friendly chicken. So that was sort of exploring that area. We have also visited in that area. There's some unusual stepping stones across one of the rivers. There's quite a lot of stuff in that area. So on our way home, as I say, we stopped off at Arbor Low. So Arbor Low is a stone circle with a barrow alongside. This farmer has it in there, on their land, which is amazing to say, oh yes, I have a stone circle on my land. So you can pull up to a small car park and you just put some money in an honesty box, which we were happy to do, because obviously you are going across this gentleman's land, and you can then see it's beautiful wild meadow, lots of gorgeous buttercups, interesting stones that have been laid around the different parts of it. This one has VR on, from Queen Victoria, and there were others of those. The circle itself, it is no longer, the stones are no longer standing, so it's formed from a bank, a ditch and a bank with the circle inside though. So this is a representation of what they believe it could have looked like. They've been excavating it for a while, and they've found more and more, but now the stones are laying flat, so you can start to see here the banking on these photos and the stones that are laying down, but they are really still quite big as well, and they are still in a circular formation with a central stone. I had to be careful about the photos I took. There were quite a lot of people there, and several people were sat in quiet contemplation, so I didn't want to just go taking photos of random people who perhaps were meditating or something. It felt a bit intrusive, so I tried to be careful. But you can see the rocks. This particular one, you can see the rock here that's almost become a shrine. On the right hand photo you can see some offerings that were left there. I think that was in the central area, and the formation of the stones. From here you get a better idea. We're up on the barrow now, and you can see the circle with the central stone. So they're no longer standing, but you still get a really clear idea of the circular nature, and it's in such a magnificent position overlooking the countryside. It's quite open out there, and it was really peaceful. It was a lovely afternoon. As you can see, the sun was shining, there were people there, everyone was quite quiet. It was really lovely, and really beautiful, and I got arty with some of the photos, but you see all these beautiful wildflowers. The barrow is a short walk across the fields, but we didn't go across, as by that point, having done a long walk and we were on our way home, my children were rather fed up, so we made a decision to head off. But that was quite cool. You could see it from a distance, and it was really noticeable shape in the field, and it's just a short walk across the field. And that was Thor's Cave and Arbor Low Stone Barrow. So I don't know if this has been of interest and if you've enjoyed it. I have got a couple more recent outings and trips, including some photos from some stone bothering I did in France, and also a recent cave outing. So when I get a chance I might compose these, so if you have enjoyed looking at these, just a quiet look at some photos rather than video, then I hope that you'll come back. If not, or then that's fine. whatever, you do you, as they say. But in the meantime, I've got lots of other videos that I haven't filmed that I want to get on with, so I'm hoping to find some time today. Might even try to do some in the garden. But for now, I'll say bye bye and thanks for watching.